that was presented to Tulsi, and I couldn't believe they actually presented it to her, about Syria. Tulsi gave a perfect answer, and we're going to go over that in a second. But I just wanted to show you the media bias out there. Tulsi gave the best answer, wasn't even close. Good God Almighty. I was so proud. I was so proud. Just as I'm a foreign policy wonk. I'm a nerd when it comes to that type of stuff. Very important to me. Obviously, Tulsi I support, but anybody who gets it right on foreign policy in a genuine way, I always celebrate, because I feel like it's such an underrated, for whatever reason, such an underrated qualification for the commander-in-chief, which is 70% of the president's job. But nonetheless, I'll always celebrate it. Anna had this to say about Tulsi. Gabbard is lying. U.S. troops in northern Syria weren't there for a regime change war. What? That's crazy, Anna. Did you discover that on your last trip to Syria? Is that what happened? Did you go like 2 days ago? Have you been since 2017 like Tulsi has? Probably not, but let's continue. They were there to deter Turkish aggression against Kurdish allies until there was a safe zone created. Her dishonesty here is gross. So my response to her was this. Hold on, let me pull it up. My response to her was this. Actually, let me zoom. I can zoom in so y'all can see it better. Matter of factly. That's better. All right. So my response to her is this. When you try to sound smart on an issue you didn't care about until the mainstream news cycle told you to a week ago. You think we literally deployed U.S. bodies to altruistically protect another proxy nation because we are just a magnanimous, benevolent hegemon. Gee. That's just swell. Because no. We don't do shit for free. We don't even step foot in your land unless we have a resource nearby that we need. And it need to be right there. It need to be somebody needs, like with Colombia, for example. People don't know the reason that we like to control Colombia and Argentina is because of all the oil that's in Venezuela and that could be surrounding that area. We can't let Colombia and the Venezuelan government become allies. Are you crazy? So we have to keep that relationship contentious. You think we like try and work with Colombia because we want a good relationship? No, that's not how it works. We're in Trinidad. We were and still are to a degree, but way more back in the day in the 70s and 80s. We were in Trinidad because we were committing regime change war. We were initiating coups all up and down the Caribbean and in Central and South America. And Trinidad was one of our bases of operation. You think we put troops in there just because we were just so darn hard pressed to keep those Trinis safe? They just had a special place in our heart. No, they were the only government at the time that would play fucking ball. What you mean? Of course. That's why we're in Trinidad. They can be used to our advantage. So for Anna to make this statement is fucking insane. Well, don't get it twisted either. It's not like Anna is like uniquely horrible on this particular issue. Anna is shit on foreign policy in general. It's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. She's always been that way. Even when I could kind of somewhat tolerate her ass, she was always bad on foreign policy. I mean, it's the same person who decided it was a smart idea to work for a network called the Young Turks when you're Armenian. That's probably not the wisest. It's not the brightest bulb in the box, if you catch my drift. So, with that being said, what's even more audacious about Anna's statement is that she's trying to pretend to know more about an issue that Tulsi Gabbard has quite literally visited. Like, in person, 2017, her and Dennis Kucinich went and talked to both the opposition and the Assad government. The opposition and the Assad government. I would ask Anna, and I know the answer to this question, Anna, I'll ask you anyway. Google how many U.S. troops were in northern Syria before 2011. You get back to me. That's your homework. But in the meantime, the audacity of a person who's never been to Syria, honestly care less about the issue, has not talked about the issue at all, to look at a person who's given a nuanced perspective, realistic one too. She wasn't shot. She didn't pull punches. She said what Trump did is absolutely wrong, but she also discussed the root of the issue. We're going to once again talk about that in a second. And then say she's just lying about everything. And, oh, by the way, we don't have troops in northern Syria because of regime change wars. You moron. Those regime change wars are perfectly fine. We were there to protect allies. That's why we were there. Yeah, and we give money to Israel to protect themselves from Palestine throwing rocks at them. Yeah, Anna. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's so cute. Look at you doing foreign policy. It's so cute. Even when, your kid tried to draw a picture, it ain't really up to par, and it might be the next Picasso, but they ain't quite Picasso yet, but you still got to tell them good job. That's where Anna's at. So you wanted a pat on your back for trying to smear Tulsi. Good job, Anna. I noticed a lot of those likes, by the way, and I urge you all to go check. A lot of those resistors. A lot of resistors boosting your tweet. It's not good, Anna. I mean, it's good for your bank account, I guess. Not good for your reputation and your career. Just saying. You can't be a progressive. You can't have one foot in, one foot out. Now, granted, Sam Cedar and Michael Brooks and all them seem to do a pretty damn good job of that. But for you to be part of that network, where y'all brand has kind of been hemorrhaging, you probably should try and save a little blood by not agreeing with the neoliberal resistor establishment. Take a step back, admit you don't know everything, move on with your life with love and aloha. You're letting Tulsi live rent free inside your head at this point. It's getting kind of uncomfortable for everybody to watch. Just saying. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Also, you can help us upgrade the studio and take this show on the road to cover the on-the-ground politics that you love by clicking on that GoFundMe link in the description and donating literally anything. Anything helps. Also, you can follow us on Rockfin, on Twitter, and on Facebook as well. And hey, more than anything else, people, always remember, find your balance. Peace.